Hush, streets breathe, lights blur. Night rain, steady on the glass. 2 steps, don't let the shadows pass. New name folded like a note. Keep low, keep the heartbeat close. Eyes down, vanish in the swirl. Who will call your name? The other Lotus Girl, blooming in a world of steel and pearl.
Episode 4, No Way Out. Back in the present time, Martin bolted after Vun the second she took off, his legs pumping hard as he tried to close the gap. Stuart lurched forward to follow, but his ribs screamed in protest, forcing him to stop after only a few strides. He doubled over, gasping. One hand pressed to his side as he watched Martin's figure grow smaller down the pavement. He looked around, panic rising in his chest.
What the hell am I supposed to do now?
Stuart, what's going on?
Stuart turned to see his next-door neighbour, John, striding across the lawn. The man was impossibly tall, 6'4" at least, and thin as a beanpole, with a mop of unruly hair and glasses that gave him a geeky, almost cartoonish look.
Why is Martin running like that?
John asked, squinting down the road. Stuart opened his mouth and hesitated. He was still in shock, his mind scrambling to piece together what had just happened.
It's Mrs. Patterson.
He stammered.
We're trying to get her back.
John's eyes widened as he looked past Stuart, following Martin's retreating form.
My God!
He muttered.
I didn't know she had it in her. My mum struggles with the stairs. How can she run so fast?
Stuart blinked, suddenly realising how this must look.
No, it's not Mrs. Patterson.
He said quickly.
It's complicated. We need to catch her.
John didn't wait for further explanation.
Don't worry. I'll help.
He called over his shoulder, already breaking into a run. Stuart stood there for a moment, ribs aching, watching John's gangly frame disappear down the street. Then his eyes landed on Mrs. Patterson's car, still parked on the driveway. He spotted the keys on the ground near the driver's door, scooped them up, and climbed in. He turned the key. The engine coughed, spluttered, then died.
Come on,
he muttered, trying again. Nothing. He was about to give up when he noticed it, the manual choke, jutting out from the dashboard like a relic from another era. He pulled it out, turned the key again, and this time the engine roared to life. Stuart gritted his teeth as he wrenched the wheel to the left, his ribs screaming with every movement.
No power steering, of course.
He eased the car onto the road, the Micra groaning in protest as he headed in the direction Martin had gone. A few seconds later, he passed John, who was still running with surprising determination. John gave him a salute and a goofy grin as the car crawled past. Stuart nodded back, then caught sight of Martin out of the corner of his eye, down a side street to the left, still running. He stopped, reversed awkwardly, and turned down the street. Behind him, John slowed, looking around in confusion. He muttered to himself.
Must have a shortcut.
Before continuing. Stuart caught up with Martin a minute later. His husband was exhausted, his face red and slick with sweat, his breathing ragged. Stuart pulled alongside him, leaning over to wind down the window, manually, because of course it didn't have electric windows.
Get in!
Stuart shouted. Martin shook his head, gasping for air.
No, keep going. I can still see her. Just ahead.
Stuart squinted down the road. He could just make out Van's figure in the distance, still running. He pressed the accelerator, and the Micra lurched forward with all the speed it could muster, which wasn't much. Still, it was faster than running, and eventually he closed the gap. He pulled alongside Van, keeping pace with her. She was crying, her face streaked with tears and sweat, her breathing ragged.
Van, stop! Please, just stop!
She didn't look at him.
Go away!
She shouted, her voice hoarse.
Leave me!
Van, please!
Stop!
She screamed suddenly, her eyes going wide with fear.
Stop now.
Stuart looked ahead and saw it. A bollard planted squarely in the middle of the road. The street was a dead end. He slammed on the brakes, but the Micra skidded forward, tyres squealing. The car hit the bollard with a dull crunch, jerking Stuart forward against the seatbelt. For a moment, everything was still. Stuart sat there, hands gripping the wheel, staring at the slightly crumpled bonnet. He'd just crashed a dilapidated car while chasing a trafficking victim to save his kidnapped mother-in-law. His life had gotten very strange, very quickly. Then Von was at the driver's window, her face pale and stricken.
Are you okay?
She asked, her voice shaking.
Are you hurt?
Stuart looked at her, then down at the slightly crumpled bonnet of Mrs. Patterson's car.
Mrs. Patterson is going to kill me. If she survives long enough to be angry about her car.
He thought.
Yeah.
He said quietly.
I'm fine.
He tried the door handle, but his hands were shaking too much to grip it properly. Von pulled it open from the outside, stepping back as he climbed out. The movement sent fresh waves of pain through his ribs, and he had to steady himself against the car door. Behind them, Martin appeared, doubled over and gasping for breath.
What the fuck happened?
Stuart looked at Von, then at Martin, then back at the crumpled Micra. They were in a dead-end alley, surrounded by garden fences and wheelie bins. No way out except past them. Von stood there, her chest heaving, tears still streaming down her face. She looked trapped, terrified, like an animal with nowhere left to run. Her hands were clenched into fists at her sides, her whole body trembling.
We need to talk.
Stuart said quietly.
All of us. Now.
For a long moment, Von didn't move. She just stood there looking between them, her eyes darting toward the mouth of the alley, like she was calculating whether she could make a run for it.
Please.
Stuart added, his voice softer.
We're not going to hurt you. We're not handing you over to anyone. We just need to understand what's happening.
Von's shoulders sagged slightly. She wiped at her face with the back of her hand, smearing tears and sweat across her cheek.
You don't understand.
She whispered.
You can't help. No one can.
Let us try.
Martin said, finally catching his breath.
Whatever this is, whatever you're running from, we can figure it out. Together.
They moved toward the Micra in a tight cluster, Van sandwiched between them. Stuart unlocked the doors with a click that sounded too loud in the quiet street. Von hesitated, her hand on the door handle, eyes darting back toward the corner they'd just come from.
Get in.
Stuart said, his voice low but firm. She slid into the front seat forward and climbed into the back seat. Stuart pushed his seat back, dropping into it and turning the key as Martin got sat in the passenger seat. The engine coughed once, sputtered, then died. He swore under his breath and tried again, pumping the accelerator. The Micra wheezed reluctant before finally catching with a rattling hum. Van flinched at the sound. Stuart executed a tight three-point turn and headed back toward the main road, his eyes flicking to the rearview mirror every few seconds. The street behind them stayed empty, but his pulse hadn't slowed. Every muscle in his body felt taut, ready to snap.
Right.
He said, keeping his voice steady despite his racing heart.
You want to tell me what the hell is going on?
Van sat rigid in the back, her breathing still ragged. She wiped her face with the back of her hand, then stared down at her lap for a long moment. Stuart could see her hands shaking.
Van?
Martin prompted gently, turning in his seat to look at her.
We can't help if we don't know what we're dealing with.
She looked up at him, then at Stuart in the rearview mirror. Her eyes were red-rimmed, exhausted. She reached into her pocket slowly, like she was afraid of what would happen when she revealed what was inside. She pulled out a small USB stick, holding it up between two fingers, like it was both precious and dangerous.
This
She said, her voice hoarse.
is why.
Stuart glanced at it in the mirror. It looked so ordinary. Just a cheap plastic stick, the kind you could buy in a pack of 10 from any electronics shop.
What's on it?
Vun swallowed hard, her eyes dropping to the stick in her hand.
Everything. Names, records, videos.
She paused, her jaw tightening.
Girls. Working. Some. Too young. Boss, he record. They don't know. Hidden camera in room, changing area. Everything.
Stuart's stomach turned, his hands tightened on the wheel.
There's more.
Vun continued, her voice gaining strength as she spoke.
Money records. How much pay to bring us here? How much we owe? How much client pay? How much goes to official? Police, maybe. Immigration. People who look other way.
Jesus Christ.
Martin breathed.
Client lists too.
Vun said.
Name, address, what they want. Some want,
She trailed off, her expression darkening.
some know. They know girls are not free. They pay extra for that. For a girl who can't say no.
The car fell silent except for the rattle of the Micra's engine.
How did you get this?
Stuart asked quietly. Vun's jaw tightened.
I wait.
She said, her words measured and deliberate.
Both he at computer all time, upstairs of salon. But computer locked. Password. Only time unlocked when both use it.
She paused, taking a shaky breath.
I make him want me. Flirt. Touch arm. Laugh at joke. Make him think me like him.
The words came out flat, emotionless.
I stay late. Tell him I finish cleaning. But I wear different clothes. Makeup.
Stuart's knuckles went white on the wheel.
I go to him. Tell him I think he handsome. He
She
take me to bedroom. I give him what he wants.
Martin closed his eyes briefly.
After I say I want shower. Make him drink while he rest. I made him tired.
Her voice was completely flat now, like she was reading from a script.
Then I go dress, go computer instead. It's still locked. I copy files. Almost finish. Then he come out. See me at computer.
She looked down at the USB stick in her hand.
I grab stick and run. He chase me. No clothes on. Just shouting, screaming. Send men after me. I hide in bins, in garden, but they follow. Then I find your car. You last hope.
Stuart exhaled slowly, his mind racing. The weight of what she'd done, what she'd sacrificed to get that evidence, settled over the car like a heavy blanket.
Right.
He said finally, his voice firm.
We're going to the police. Give them the stick. Let them handle it.
No!
Vun lunged at the window, trying to force out the pop-out style window by hitting it. Stuart swerved, swearing.
Jesus! Stop!
No police!
Von's voice cracked with panic.
Please, no police!
All right.
Stuart steadied the car, his heart hammering.
Just explain. Why not the police?
Vun pulled her hand back from the window, but her whole body was tense, coiled like a spring.
They have people in police. They pay. Keep things quiet.
She was breathing fast, her words tumbling over each other.
I hear Boss on phone. He talked to someone in uniform. Laugh about raid that never happened. About girls who complain but disappear from records.
Stuart wanted to argue, to say that couldn't be true, but the fear in her eyes was too raw to dismiss.
There was woman.
Von said quietly, her voice steadying.
Journalist Sandra Marsh. She come to salon for nails, for waxing. No more customer. But she come too much, ask too many questions. Where we from? How we like working there? Where live? She different. Like she wanted to know real us.
What happened?
Martin asked.
Boss, he gets suspicious. He asked questions. Find out she journalist.
Vun's expression darkened.
She not come back to salon ever.
Vun's voice dropped to barely a whisper.
But I keep card. She give me, say if I need help, contact. I keep hidden in my bra.
She reached into her top and pulled a crumpled business card from her bra.
I want to find her. Give her this. I think she try expose them. Maybe still want to. Maybe just need evidence like this. Go public. Can't escape truth.
Stuart glanced at the card in the mirror. Sandra Marsh, with an email address and phone number.
That's the plan?
Martin asked.
Find this journalist and hope she's willing to risk her life.
She won't stop them.
Vaughn said firmly.
I see in eyes. She angry. She need be safe. She go public with this.
She held up the USB stick.
She publish before stop her. They can't threaten anymore. Evidence already out. Bad man in prison.
Stuart's mind raced. It was risky, insane maybe, but going to the police with potential corruption involved was equally dangerous. And if what Vaughn said was true, if they had officers in their pocket, Vaughn's expression suddenly crumpled.
Also must find sister. She lost.
Before Stuart asked more, he checked the rearview mirror again, more out of habit than expectation. But he saw it. A black BMW, 3 cars back, keeping pace with them perfectly, not closing the gap but not falling behind either.
Shit.
Stuart muttered.
What?
Martin turned to look,
We've got company.
and Stuart nodded toward the mirror.
Black BMW, 3 cars back. I'm sure it's the same one.
Vaughn twisted in her seat, looking out the back window. Her face went pale, her breathing quickening.
That's them.
She whispered.
That's their car.
How?
Stuart's mind raced, panic rising in his chest.
How the hell did they find us?
He pressed the accelerator, the Micra's engine whining in protest as they picked up speed. The car shuddered, clearly unhappy about being pushed, but it responded, sort of. The BMW kept pace effortlessly.
There must be something.
Stuart muttered, his eyes darting between the road and the mirror.
A tracker. Or did they follow us from the house?
Not possible.
Martin said, looking back.
We would have seen them. They couldn't have known which direction we went.
Then how?
Stuart's voice was tight with frustration and fear. Vaughn sat frozen in the back seat, her eyes locked on the BMW.
I don't know. I not know how they find me. I careful, always looking.
Stuart took a sharp left turn, tires squealing. The Micra lurched and he had to fight with the steering wheel to keep it straight. Behind them, the BMW followed smoothly, making the turn like it was nothing.
We need to lose them.
Martin said, stating the obvious.
In this?
Stuart gestured at their surroundings, the engine already screaming as it clunked into 4th gear.
We're not exactly driving a getaway car.
The BMW was closer now, 2 cars back, then 1. Stuart's mind raced. They couldn't outrun them. The Micra was barely holding together as it was, and his ribs were screaming with every turn. They needed a different plan.
Hold on,
he said, and took a sudden right down a narrow residential street. The Micra protested, its suspension groaning. Behind them, the BMW followed, still calm, still controlled. Whoever was driving knew exactly what they were doing.
They're not backing off.
Martin said, his voice tense. Stuart glanced at the clock on the dashboard. 8:52 p.m. They had just over 3 hours until the deadline. 3 hours to save Mrs. Patterson, keep Vaughn safe, stop a trafficking network, and somehow shake off the car that was now directly behind them. The BMW's headlights filled the Micra's interior, bright and unrelenting. Van whimpered in the back seat. Stuart's hands tightened on the wheel.
Right.
He said, his voice steadier than he felt.
We're not doing this. We're not leading them in circles until this car falls apart.
What are you thinking?
Martin asked.
We need to get somewhere public, somewhere with witnesses.
The Stuart took another turn, heading toward the town centre.
They won't try anything with crowds around.
You sure about that?
Martin glanced back at the BMW.
No,
Stuart admitted.
but I'm out of better ideas.
The BMW's engine revved behind them, and Stuart's stomach dropped. They were going to ram them. He could feel it.
Brace yourselves!
He said. But the impact didn't come. Instead, the BMW pulled alongside them in the opposite lane. Stuart could see the driver through the windows, the same bald man from before, a large grin on his face. Then the BMW surged forward and cut sharply in front of them. Stuart slammed on the brakes, the Micra's tyres screeching. They stopped inches from the BMW's rear bumper. The BMW stopped too, right in the middle of the road. For a moment everything was still. Then both doors of the BMW opened.
Hush, streets breathe.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this, please like the episode. New chapters are on the way. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next instalment. Want more? Read Janus Origin, Threads of Control. The Other Lotus Girl stands alone, but ties into the Janus Origin universe. The threads connect toward the end. Thanks again for listening.
Call your name, the other Lotus Girl, blooming in a world of steel and pearl. The other Lotus Girl, say my name and watch the night unfurl. The other Lotus Girl, I'm the echo you can't drown, the quiet in the world. The other Lotus Girl, Lotus, rise slow, Lotus, don't let go. Red to green, but I don't move. Signal waits for a different truth. If a legend, keep me near. If you hear me, pull me clear. The other Lotus Girl, blooming where the